Yeah, I mean, I was excited. It's great for our team, makes the room better, the competition better. He's a great kid. He's came in here, learned fast. He's asked questions. So, I mean, it's exciting, and it opens doors for all of us. So I think that's the best part of it. So we're just all excited about it.
How are you approaching your second year coming into the league, especially after the injury that you suffered like you suffered last year?
Yeah, I'm always hard on myself, so I critique my game pretty seriously. And I just know what I need to get better at. So I just working on that in training camp right now, and just knowing that the clock's ticking, learning from each other, learning from the tight ends, and learning from our experience and the bad and the good that happened last year, and just kind of take that extra step to be better.
I feel like you and Kenyon's skills kind of complement each other pretty well. He's a unique player in that he can play all over the field and stuff like that. And I'm just curious how you feel like you guys complement each other.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Reich, I mean, he's gonna have a hell of a time, scheming for our offense. I mean, we got a bunch of skill in the room, not just him, but I mean, he's smooth, he's quick, he's athletic as hell, and I mean, like I said, one of us can be in line, one of us could be out wide, vice versa. Jelani can be out there, Ruck can be out there. So I mean, we got endless options, and that's what makes it so exciting to work with. And Coach Reich is gonna, put those pieces together, and it's our job to go out here and practice and prove what we could do, and expand our skill set so then we could be put in the right place at the right time.
How's it been getting to know your new quarterback Gino and also Frank Wright, the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like I said, OTAs was really smooth. Love Reich's, philosophy of things and his opinions on what he lets us to do. Kind of be our own player, but be disciplined at the same time. He trusts us a lot, and as coming from a coach, that's great. So we want to prove ourselves in practice as much as we can, so we can, build on that trust.
What was your focus during the offseason?
I think one of the main focus was definitely getting bigger, faster, stronger, of course. But I think where I knew where my areas to improve was in the run game in particular, just being more consistent, and my yards after catch. So having a plan after you catch the ball, being schemed open in practice, meaning going in practice and showing that I can get these deep balls down the field, make people miss, and kind of create that mentality that the first guy's not going to bring me down. So having a plan after that catch with the yards after catch is big for me this offseason, and my run game consistency to keep improving that day by day.
Way back in the spring, Aaron Glenn pinpointed you as one of the guys he thought was going to make the biggest jump this season. Would you think when you heard that? What would that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot. Coming from the head coach, that means that he has some trust in me. And, I think I've gained that through practice, and trying to be as consistent as possible. And I just need to keep my head down and stay humble and hungry and, continue to show these coaches what I'm made of every single day.
I know a lot about Sadiq just from, watching college football and being, fresh out of college yourself. Did you know much about him?
Yeah, I knew of him for sure. I mean, I've seen him make plays all over the field, so it was definitely exciting. That's why I said I was really excited. And, adding that to the room is a special piece, and I think we're building something special in that tight end room.
How did you feel overall about your rookie season?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good, but not good enough. Like I said, I'm really harsh on myself. I see it as a lot of room for improvement, which is a good thing. So I just be my harshest critic and come to work every single day to get better and better.
It feels like kind of the golden age for tight ends right now. I think there was 22 drafted this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 12 personnel, 13 personnel. I mean, is it exciting to kind of see how tight ends are being used around the league right now?
Yeah, like I said, the endless opportunities, and it's our job in practice to kind of display what we could do in 12 personnel and 13 personnel and all these multiple sets, because at the end of the day, you want to dictate what the defense puts out there. If they want to put out nickel, we'll run the ball. If they want to put out base, we'll throw the ball. We can throw the ball versus nickel too. We got Sadiq, Ruck, Jelani, myself. There's endless opportunities, like I said, and if we could be that wild card, which they don't know what we're going to do, we're going to be pretty dangerous.
It's kind of in the vibe of this first week of camp, Harrison, the team.
It's been really good. I've been super excited. I know you guys have been around for a few days, but to have the fans out there too, pick some things up, but we're off to a really great start.
What are you saying from the rookie David Bailey early on in camp?
I see him in the backfield all the time. Oh my gosh. It's fun to see someone who's been, OTAs is a different type of football. We're in training camp. We're not in pads, but it's still a different type of football. But it's more ramped up. To see some of the things we saw in the spring carry over through a summer break. The playbook stuff be there. it's really fun to get some reps with him in the first group, and I'm really excited that he's on our team.
What's it been like? It's a little different with the rules. You got an off day. Practice yesterday. You got an off day tomorrow. So as a guy who's been around the league, a veteran guy, what's it like? With this different type of.
Yeah, well, I'll say that it's really cool to see the people that are like mapping this whole thing out for us. They're experts in their fields, and they're making sure that every player here is able to play their best. And the data that we have on, we're taking heat images of people to see inflammation, and we've got millions of dollars of facilities, and we've got all these bodywork people, and we've got wellness surveys, and we got trackers, and we got force plates. We are making sure that we are doing everything we can to put ourselves in the best position physically to be recovered and to be at our best, so that we can be the best version of ourselves. And maybe getting 10% bigger, faster, and stronger helps 1% in football. Getting 10% better at football helps 10% in football. But if we can find any of those 1%, we're going to try to do it.
What's it been like with AG calling the defense now?
Yeah, I think it's been there's been a lot of energy. I think it's been really cool to see the different layers of the defense from the different positions, back end, middle, and up front. And then these free agents and some of our draft picks just coming in and not only like doing their role exactly how it was supposed to be pictured in the defense, but doing that and even more so. So really, really excited to work with this group of guys, and really happy to have AG calling this thing just for the clarity and the intensity that he brings.
Talk a little bit about the ramp up here. You guys have been pads on Monday, I think.
Yes, sir.
Right? Does that still bring a charge to you?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? The last time I got to put on pads was in January. So it's super fun for my job, and you guys kind of know my game a little bit. That's my game. I want pads, I want contact, I want to field doubles. That's the type of thing that I really enjoy. So all this offseason has been just kind of like patiently working, really for these moments. This is the time that your identity of a team is built. This is the time that your body is calloused, and everything's been so positive up to this point. I hope that we just continue on the trajectory that we are.
How much better do you think you guys can be against the run this year with the bodies you've added in now?
Yeah, well, you brought up AG calling the defense. I think that that's already another element of it, of the way his defense is implemented to stop the run. And then some of the people that we have. This is a very deep defensive line room, and it's really nice to have a 3-4 defense where the ends and the tackles are in the same room. I really like that because we can communicate well, and we can see on film sometimes when you have like the bigs in a room and the outsides in a room. You can't see how the one time that I jump out of my gap and I try to make a play that it really screws the defensive end, or vice versa. Defensive end goes inside or something, and man, hey, your Harrison would have made that play if you had only. Well, we're in the whole room there together, and you see that ownership, and you're playing alongside the guys in the meeting with them. You want to do great for your brother, and that creates a whole nother ownership of like, I love the guy next to me so much, I'm willing to just do my job for him to get his glory. And those are teams that are really powerful. You don't care who gets the credit. We just want to make the big play.
Does this scheme require of you as an interior lineman? Does this scheme require different things maybe than you did last year? Maybe you're doing more two-gapping now because it's a 3-4.
Yeah, we talked the whole 3-4-4-3 thing is I feel a more push narrative from the media a little bit. I've said this before. Every defense has 4-3 and 3-4 elements to it. And as a D lineman, almost in every scheme I've played, there is a little bit of a read, react, or a attack, react, or react, attack. There's kind of just like two different buckets that D-line play can be played in. And this defense has both of those versions, just like other defenses I've played in. I think what maybe the overarching defense here difference than maybe last year is that you won't be as gapped up as much. So you mentioned like two gapping. We're hoping that we can have players who can dominate their one-on-one matchup and do a little bit more to maybe gap and a half, not necessarily straight up two gap. In other defenses, sometimes everything is gapped out, so every single gap is accounted for. If it hits in that gap, you know exactly what player is responsible from that. Here you want to set, we want to play with enough violence, physicality, build walls, and set edges that you can eliminate multiple gaps with singular players. And I think that we have the right people that can do that and play off of each other.
When you talk about now the D line and the D ends are all in the same room together this year, that wasn't the case last year? Or
that was the case last year. It's more similar in those base 4-3 defenses. Sometimes when you get into the 3-4 defenses, you end up having 12 or 14 people in the room, and sometimes they'll split that into two different rooms. Here we're all in the same room.
a little further down the depth chart, Pascal, the international
Yeah.
player, right?
Pistol
have you
P.
seen from him? Yeah. What have you seen from him? He was on the practice squad last year.
Yeah, and look, Pistol P has been working his tail off. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten stronger. He stayed around here all summer. I don't even know if his visa allows him to not leave, or I don't know what his whole deal is. But such an interesting, a really cool program the NFL allows us to have international players. But I don't think there isn't a player who I've seen make a bigger jump in a short period of time. Now, his is coming from a very low education on NFL football and things like that. So I'm expecting him to make those jumps. But yeah, just to have a conversation with, last year, this isn't an exact story, but somewhere on the lines that he might be like, hey, that's called the tight end, or like that's the running back. How do you know? And now he's able to understand our whole playbook. He can tell other players who've been playing football for 10 years. He's able to say, hey, this is 3-by-1, so we have this call here. So to see that happen in a matter of months is super impressive. And then again, he's super fast. He got a lot stronger. That program's really cool, and I'm really happy that he's on our team.
Does he have the kind of ceiling that could just get him on the field on a Sunday?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, the stride that he's made in my short time, and I don't feel like I hit my stride in the NFL till year 3 or year 4, and I've been playing football since I was 12. So the strides that he's making and the leaders that he has around him, I don't even know his ceiling, but it's high.
Ask you to put your Players Association hat on for a second. The World Cup, obviously was a big deal.
Yeah.
Including MetLife, they put grass down for the World Cup tournament, and now it's back to turf. How did you feel about that, and what are you guys talking about? What can you do to change that? Because I think you want to change that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you look at any of the surveys and studies or reports that the union puts out to players, simply ask, scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like playing on grass? How much do you like playing on turf? After a game on grass, they might send out a survey and say, rate your soreness. After a game on turf, they might send you out a survey and say, rate your soreness. And so overwhelmingly, those numbers skew that players like to play on natural grass. And I think the tough part is there's subheaders there where then you might have players that say, well, if it's grass, I'd rather play on turf. And so it's a very complicated argument. I want to stand firm that players prefer to play on good natural grass. That's true and true. I wasn't here, but years ago, the stadium that the Jets used to play in was grass, and I understand that there was a lot of difficulties that came in late in the year, multiple teams. There's always these tough things. I think that there is an answer. I do believe that we could try to make players happier and get closer to what they want. But I know that in this organization specifically, I've been blown away at how much our owner wants to support our players. I don't know if you've seen what we're doing. Obviously, it's made probably your travel a little more difficult getting here. We're going to have one of the best facilities, not just in the National Football League, in all of professional sports. And that's an owner that says, I want to win and I want to do whatever the players need for that. So if there is a way to get the players what we want, if natural grass is feasible and we can show that that's going to make us a healthier team, I believe that our owner would definitely hear that out. I can't speak for the other owners in the league, but I see a world. I love that we had 30 stadiums. I don't remember how many we shared, but 31 that had natural grass. That'd be really great. And the tough thing that is pushed back, if you look on just individual injury rates year to year, it's tough to tell, but we don't have really good long tracking data that says what is the wear and tear of a player who played 12 years and practiced on turf and played on turf for his whole career versus a player who maybe had practiced on natural grass fields and played on natural grass fields majority of their career. What do their bodies look like? What are their knee replacement, hip replacement rates at? So this is a very long conversation that both parties want to figure out the right way, because I think everyone, we want to care about our former players, and every player will be a former player one day, and that's a population that could always use some help. So we want to make sure that our former players are in the best health they can be.